Welcome to my podcasts, Retro Doom Reviews. In this episode, I'm just going to talk about how I've decided not to watch media. I'm basically going analog, back to the old school, especially when I grew up back in the 90s, when we used to have these things called video stores. And I live in a fairly decently sized city, suppose, compared to some standards if you live in Brisbane or wherever. I live in Mackay, mate. And there used to be video stores everywhere. And because there used to be a Blockbuster in town where Chemist is now. There used to be, there was two video stores. There's another video store called Dynasty Video or Destiny Video. And now it's converted into a gym. And then down the road in a suburb of Mackay called Endgrave, there was another video shop called Civic Video. And what's so good about growing up back by then is I used to go, Mom, can I go down to the road? And when I was a kid back in the 90s, and early 2000s, the early noughties, me and my mate, or I used to go down and ask Mum, could I go down the road to hire out a video game and hire out a DVD? And that's the thing is that I believe this is why it's one of the reasons why us millennials and Gen Zs, or people in general, I suppose it's all generations that, when you think about it, uses the technology. Is that why? Because why would you need to go out to go anywhere when you can sit there and watch Netflix or have Disney Plus or Paramount Plus? And it's quite funny with Netflix. The history of Netflix is actually quite interesting because they started before Google did. Because Netflix first started in 1997 and Google started in 1998. And they had some whole heap of business ideas, and they pivoted. A company that pivoted so many times. But when they first started out, internet was a fairly recent invention, a new thing, new technology. And this is back in the dial-up days where it will take you fucking forever, 24 hours, to watch or download a video. And I remember Napster being a thing, that peer-to-peer share thing. And sometimes that you don't know what you're going to get. Like if you download this movie, it could be a corn video. Corn. Why? As part of the lexicon. Anyway, Netflix started out as basically a mouth-to-mouth DVD order thing, because with Blockbuster, you have to pay late fees if you don't, and with Netflix don't. And Blockbuster had a chance to buy Netflix, but because Blockbuster didn't realize then, because they were making billions and billions and billions of dollars at the time. And why would they think about that? But now Blockbuster doesn't exist anymore. And I remember when Netflix first came out, and it was revolutionary at the time. I could sit there and stream, pay this account where you pay fuck all. And just remember that Netflix was the only thing in town. And then, of course, so it was great. It's just brand new, but then all the other companies like Paramount, there's Paramount Plus. In Australia, we have Stan, which is Channel 9 and Telstra. Then you have Binge, which is Foxtel, I believe, that own these streaming services. And Channel 7 had their own, then they're called Presto, but they stopped that. So you have all these streaming services, and the problem is like, and Amazon Prime. So you have to subscribe to all these other services, right? All these other streaming services just to watch the show that you want to have. But also another thing is you get overwhelmed with choice. Like I'm just sick and tired of spending ages and forever sitting there searching on what I want to watch. I was like, oh, this looks good, that looks good, that looks great. So back in the day, and what I noticed with my physical media collection is that you don't have an overwhelming choice. And I've been buying some movies from op shops like Vinny's and the RSPCA. Op shops, right? And they're like really, really cheap. Like Vinny's, they sell their DVDs for $2, and then they sell, and our SPCA is 5 DVDs for $5. At Vinny's, it's $1 for every movie, and our RSPCA charges like $2, and which I like doing that and buying media from those places because, like, I pay $10 and I got a big ass collection from both those stores, and it's going to a good cause, which I just think is fantastic. And honestly, one of the things that surprised me, there's a lot of people that go shopping, and why not? Because of the cost of the economy and how cooked capitalism is now, and we see that with a lot of these streaming services that are so much, and if you subscribe to all of them, it's going to cost you a lot of money for what? Because that you subscribe to Prime Video, Amazon Prime, because you want to watch The Boys. But then at the JB Hi-Fi, I saw a box set of The Boys, so you might as well just save up and just buy the box set or buy a season when it comes out. And just thinking about that, actually going to a brick and mortar store, is that you're only limited by you're limited by the choices of what that video store carries. So obviously that would have all the new releases come out, and then new releases, like I think it's like for one night, like $5 for one night. Fuck, it's been a while, and it was like all the older material was like $7 for 7 days. Oh fuck. And they used to have a deal, like if you rent out multiple movies, then they'll give you a bit of a discount. And it was good, like you pick it up and it's like you take a chance, and I believe that's how you discover movies and things like that, but see, the problem is that there's so much choice, there's so much TV shows. What shows you can watch? So growing up used to go to the cinemas, and Mackay used to have 2 cinemas, and one in the city closed down years ago, so then now there's one. And who goes to the movies these days? And another thing is that owning physical media is that they're not going to delete it. It's not going to go off it. I own it forever in a day. And also another thing is that I've decided that I'm going to make a rule for myself that every physical media that I collect, I have to get it from a brick and mortar store. And even though that you might have to have a conversation with somebody, like, and I think doing that, it's like, because, they didn't have this movie that I wanted available at my local JB Hi-Fi. So I could just sit there and go online and go, oh, you don't have available for me. But I just think getting it from a brick and mortar store is that it forces you to get out and forces you to have a little bit of interaction with the cashier. And as I said earlier, and this is why I believe that we lost our communication skills. Because why would you need to talk to anybody? You don't need to leave your house, man. Man, these days, fucking, you got Uber Eats and DoorDash, and that's what I do as my second job, and that's what part of the reason why I'm going to continue with my second job was to fund my my analog addiction, my collection, my my for my for my addiction. So one of the things that I'm going to do is that also that everything that I listen to and read, I'm gonna review. And I bought some couple of novels. Like I'm not gonna go out and buy myself a Kindle so I could just download it. Like it's like a physical book. And one of the things I started reading is Songbirds of the Reaping. It's a Hunger Game novel. It's about Hamish Abernathy when he was 16 years old in the second quarter call. And also, I did buy the movies, the Hunger Games. I got Hunger Games Catching Fire, Hunger Games Mockingjay, Part 1. Yes, they had this trend in a while they did it because of Harry Potter. Like they decided to split the seventh novel into two parts. And so it was Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 and Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. And I read that book countless times. And I know there's a lot of criticism of J.K. Rowling on that because of her trans controversy. And I agree with her that women, like a man cannot become a woman. It's physically impossible. It's just basically biology. So I don't see the big controversy about it. And I just think that you can actually honestly separate the art from the artist. It's like, for fuck's sake, like Chris Brown breed up Rihanna. Well, I suppose you don't really hear much about them, but but I'm just saying that, like, you can't pick and choose. Like, how many of these revered musicians and artists and actors had cheated on their wives? Have did some terrible things like what Woody Allen, married his stepdaughter. So you can't get up on somebody because of an opinion that they have. And why would J.K. Rowling care? Because she's rich beyond belief. But and then there was it they did that with the Twilight, now they did with the Dune series. And reading, because apparently with actually reading a book, a physical book, is that you can actually retain it a lot better than read it digitally. And also another thing is that what I've started to do was that so far that I just only started recently collecting physical media, analog media. I got quite a bit of collection. Is that I'm not thinking about paying for spicy massages with Leave Very Happy. I'm basically not paying for it, for intimacy. It's just that keeps my mind off it in space, doing content creation on the side of it and doing these podcasts, is that I'm not focusing on that. Like, I'm focusing on buying this, watching movies and that. And look, I'm not going to be like a professional reviewer or a video essay. So I'm just going to talk about, what I enjoyed, this movies, what I did, or this book. Because like this retro doom reviews. It's just going to be like talking about video games that I played or board games, like anything analog, or that I watched a movie. And because in my collection that I bought from these op shops, there's some movies that I watched, like uh, Die Hard, the Hunger Games series, and Batman versus Superman. And there's a lot of movies I haven't watched before, like Napoleon Dynamite. And when I was like in the RSPCA looking through their selection, I'm like, okay, Jesus. Oh, I was like, I haven't watched this. Oh, that's what I also got, The Hangover. Yeah, I bought The Hangover. I watched The Hangover, the first movie. And so was it like I'd never seen Napoleon Dynamite. That movie came out in 2004, especially how much of a budget that they have. They made it for $1,000 and it became really big. And then The Last Temptation of Christ, which was directed by Martin Scorsese. Really liked him the movies that I watched of his. I really liked his style and as a director. Oh, shit. What else did I got? Oh, yeah. How to Lose Friends and Alienate People, which I don't know nothing about. Thought, why not? Fuck it. And I don't remember what the other one was. But then again, I'll just have to sit down and watch it, and I'll talk about whether I like it or whether I hate it and what I think about it and all that kind of stuff, all that kind of jazz. Is that, well, yeah, what else? Yeah, that's right. I bought some novels. I bought a couple of Jack Reacher books. Like bought the very first Jack Reacher novel, and it's quite funny. I remember watching the movie with Tom Cruise. That Jack Reacher is like 6'2". Tom Cruise is about 5'7", and they get them to play Jack Reacher, like, and make him with movie with camera angles and movie maxes to make him look taller, which is quite funny, ironic, and I suppose there's nothing wrong with being a shortkin. Anyway, just thank you for listening, and please follow on my analog addiction, or if I end up, or I could be full of shit and started ordering online again in a month's time, I might say, well, fuck this, I'm gonna come back and order shit and start watching on Netflix and all that kind of bullshit. And yeah, so, and also any recommendations that you guys have, any movies that I should go and watch, or any novels that you read, or even board games, video games, whatever, just write down in the comments and just let me know, and yeah, I might go and watch it. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.